So I was scrolling through Instagram recently and I came across this post which says, country ranked 111 in Global Hunger Index inaugurates a 1,800 crore rupee temple. The Ayodhya Ram Mandir, after much wait and controversies, finally was opened to the public recently. It is an emotional affair for many Hindus worldwide, and as always, there was someone who criticized the same. But that didn't bother me. What bothered me was this. India is ranked 111 out of 125 countries worldwide in the Global Hunger Index. Well, being an Indian, I do know that there is widespread poverty and a lack of access to food for a lot of people. But surely it cannot be ranked lower than Pakistan, which suffered a major food crisis last year and still kinda do. Is India's situation that bad? Or are the Western organizations biased against India in particular? Well, I was wondering if it was only the Global Hunger Index Foundation or was there more? So I pulled up some more indices to further confirm my curiosity. And this is what I found. All of these point towards one conclusion. India is poor, India is backward, and India is underdeveloped. But let me ask you a question. Is it really backward and underdeveloped as the stats say? Well, I beg to differ. While I do agree that India has a long way to go in order to fundamentally solve all the problems plaguing its society, I definitely do not agree that with all these stats that they try to portray. For one, GDP as well as GDP per capita is measured nominally, i.e. the face value in US dollars is taken into consideration. But what should be considered is PPP or purchasing power parity. PPP basically is the power of $1 in the local currency. Some countries have a lower PPP while some countries may have a higher PPP. India falls into the higher PPP region, where more amount of goods and services can be purchased for $1. Considering PPP, let's take a look at the stats again. India ranks third in the world right after United States in GDP and ranks 125 in GDP per capita. Now, are these Western organizations biased against India? Or is India performing that badly? Or is there something else in consideration over here? The simple answer is yes. The complicated answer is it depends. You see, one statistic that India does top in is population. India is currently the most populated country worldwide. And with such a large population, even the smallest of percentages refer to millions of people. And there is a fair reason why these statistics point to India being an underdeveloped country. The Ganga Belt or the Ganges Belt is a region where fertile rivers run through the land, thus creating some of the world's most fertile lands. And with fertile lands comes high density and overpopulation. The Ganga Belt accounts for 27.2% of the entire country's population, while accounting for only 14.04% of the entire country's GDP. These states, namely Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and Bihar, are one of the poorest states in India. Added to the fact that the northeastern states, one of the underdeveloped regions of India due to harsh terrain and geography, have low access and contribution to the Indian economy. So, there is a clear indication of why these stats show India as an underdeveloped country. But is it the actual truth? I would say no. In some of the places I have seen, India is quite developed. I live in Bangalore, and Bangalore has some world-class infrastructure. And we cannot talk about infrastructure without mentioning Mumbai, whose skyscrapers and beaches are a sight of its own. In conclusion, while I do feel that there is some kind of bias against India in certain fields, India sure has a long way to go in terms of food security, education, and overall conditions of living. Even with all its flaws, I am still proud to be an Indian by heart and blood. Well, that's it for today, guys. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe to my channel if you like my content. And leave a comment down below stating your views. This is that Indian nerd. Sayonara and Jai Hind.